think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found on flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to Caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Oh, good morning, boys and girls. Yes, sir. Welcome aboard to a Saturday edition of the show. Yes, we once in a while we'll pop in. We'll do a Saturday show. I figured today with a lot of the free agency stuff going on in the NBA, we've got a bunch of other things to talk about NFL-wise that we can get into. And it's a 4th of July weekend, so some of you are probably relaxing with the family, I hope. I don't know how many of you went out on trips, but maybe you're somewhere out on the road and you got some time there. And if not, maybe later on you can watch the show at your convenience, which is what normally ends up happening most of the time, with most of you enjoying the show at another time. So we do have one guest for you today. Cameron Wolf is going to stop by around 12:30, so we'll have a little fun with Cam. I'm working on one more guest, NBA related, not our regular guys like Ira and Clay and Anthony, but another NBA guest that I'm working on, which would be a big story for us. Because it's kind of important with everything going on. We got a new addition, by the way. Gotta welcome a new addition to the show. Got an ibis there. You see that ibis there hanging out? How about that? Don Parlamento. Thank you, sir. Made a donation to the show. And so we added, I figured it's hard to find places, but I was able to find a spot for that ibis right there, right between the ibis banner and then the Slomans and Inter Miami, so I figured I can sneak it in there. So we snuck in an ibis now, so it's pretty cool. Actually, it's a pretty cool shot we see right here, right? What is it? The Slomans, the ibis, and then now we've got our Alarmo. There you go. So not bad. It actually works out. I didn't even I hadn't looked at it like in the shot to see how it would look, but there you go. So Don, thank you. He says, I was going through some stuff I had in storage, came across this Canes ibis. Being a Gators fan, I couldn't keep this in my house. And he also sent some cards too, and that's very nice of you. Thank you very much, Don. Thank you as always. I know you've been a very loyal listener for a long ass time because I've seen your name many, many times on the chat boards, Twitter, all kinds of stuff. Super chats, because I know you've also made your super chat, so thank you. And of course, you can make a super chat donation if you want. Here, a Saturday super chat donation, or of course on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show, as always, on a beautiful July 2nd. Remember, you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, that's another way. We'll read your text in a few minutes. And so let me tell you something. When you look at, I see Bromar's asking me if he thinks that you should join the SEC. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I was telling I was just telling Manny yesterday, if you listen to our segment, you can go back and listen to our segment with Manny Navarro. I almost get the feeling that Miami and Clemson will end up in the SEC and FSU will end up in the Big Ten, and that'll ruin our rivalry. I don't know, maybe, outside of conference, maybe that's the one game we'll play out of conference with each other, which I hope that at least it's that. But who knows? Maybe they also end up in the Big Ten. But listen, if you're FSU, if you're Miami, and if you're Clemson, we have a saying in Spanish, ponte las pilas, like get the batteries on, let's go, get it going. You better get on the move. That's kind of what it means. And that UCLA USC move should be the shot across the bow that everybody else needed in any other conference. If you're Utah, you're thinking about this. If you're Stanford, you need to think about this. All these kind of, you better move on, because it looks like there's going to be, we all thought it was going to be a Power 5. Then we thought it was going to be like a Super 4. No, it's going to be a Super 2 conference now. And they're going to have 20 teams each. So if you're the University of Miami, you're Florida State, you're Clemson, those are the three programs that you've got to be on the phone, and you've got to be working it already. Radkovich has to be on it already. He has no choice. Look at all the money they're spending as a private school. So do you think they don't need that $100 million check? Hell yeah, they need that $100 million check. So yes, the University of Miami has to get their asses in gear and join the SEC or the Big Ten. I want them to join the SEC, of course. It's more regional, plus it's the best league. And I want the Canes playing against the best teams. I want them playing against Auburn and Alabama and Georgia and Clemson. It's hell yeah, dude. That would be freaking awesome. I mean, it becomes, think about this. How many fans now are going to be more tempted to go travel to some of those places? I mean, North Carolina's nice to go check out North Carolina, but it's not like you're going, to Auburn Stadium. Right? It's not like you're going to go take on Georgia. That's a great atmosphere. Hell, shitty Tennessee, just to go over to Rocky Top and check out that stadium. I mean, things like that. Texas A&M, the 12th man, right, is what they call it. And they have that whole thing where they, I don't know, do they do the burning thing still, or didn't they have some kind of an incident or something, and I think they were thinking of canceling, or they canceled it or something like that. I forgot what it was, but they have that whole, ritual that they do the night before or 2 nights before or whatever. All these kind of things, That'll make it that much cooler to be in that conference for Canes fans. It'll be that much more fun to actually go on the road to LSU. You know, you get to go to Death Valley and see what the hell is going on. You know, it's actually cool. So yeah, yeah. If you're you're Florida State, and you're Clemson, get your ass in gear, dude, or get left out. And Miami was quick to get on the ACC. Well, they better be. And the good thing for Miami is they're still a sexy team, even though they've kind of been irrelevant when it comes to, major football, that they're not in the mix ever anymore. They are still in the mix of interest, and people want to see them, or they want to see them lose, or whatever it is, right? So they still have that. They still have the it factor. Now Cristobal has to add the football factor to it. Once he adds that to it, then, everything is set and you're ready to go and move forward. But there is no doubt in my mind that Radkovic has to be on it right now and trying to find out where is he going to move the Miami Hurricanes. And hopefully it's the SEC. So there you go. South Florida Don is in the house. He sees his ibis back there. There you go. I got a good spot for it. I got to admit, I got crafty. Because you remember, the problem is that I can't, you don't see everything because of the borders. I take out the border, and now you can see the Eiffel Tower, the Yoda, you can see Tua, Marino, Freddie Mercury, or Gallagher from DJ Gallagher. You can see all those things. Notice what I did with the Miami Soul. Huh? I put a Bitcoin over the basketball. Yeah. So we'll find out. We'll find out what ends up happening overall. By the way, we won again in our liquor split matchup of the night yesterday. We're 12-2 against the number in our last 14 games. So we have another selection for you today in our liquor split matchup of the night. So we will give that to you also throughout the show. So we'll have Cameron Wolf at 12:30. We've got I got stuff to talk about with the University of Miami. I got a lot of things to talk about with the NBA and the Miami Heat. I got some Tua stuff that I want to get to also. There's so many things to talk about, which is pretty cool on a Saturday, which I didn't think there was going to be, that much. So at least we'll get Cameron Wolf also at 12:30. So we'll have a little fun with that. Do want to remind you all that AG1, and take it from somebody that drinks AG1 every day, and I get my vitamin every day on top of all of that. I show it to you guys all the time. Athletic Greens, 75 high-quality vitamins and minerals. That's how I start off my day every day. That's why I've got the energy every single day. It's a whole food sourced superfood, probiotics, and adaptogens. It's the perfect way to start your day, actually. And it tastes absolutely fantastic, because a lot of people are always worried about these things that are good for you. Oh, my God. And they see it's green and all that, and they kind of freak out. But no, man, you don't have to freak out. What's in this stuff? A delicious scoop of AG1. You get 12 ounces of nice cold water, and you'll get 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals. And, man, you are going to start your day the right way with a special blend of ingredients that supports your gut health, which I needed, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, which a lot of us need that. And so I already feel it myself every single day. That's what I love about it, folks. It costs less than $3 a day, so you're investing in your health a lot cheaper than some of these other things that you got to use, a whole bunch of pills and everything else. Listen, when we talk about Athletic Greens, it contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything and it tastes absolutely delicious. It supports better sleep quality, recovery, supports mental clarity and alertness. And boy, I need that, being able to do a show 5-6 days a week. And folks, we don't take a half hour off every hour like, in radio, lazy radio, or repeat segments or anything. You need energy to do this show because we don't repeat and we really actually talk and communicate with people on this one. So right now, folks, it's really easy to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop, 12 ounces of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. Now, to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, which there you go. And I tell you about the travel packs, and I have them here as an example. They're going to send you 5 of these travel packs, and these are awesome because I'm going to take these to Vegas with me. So I'm taking 10 of these to Vegas so I can use one every single day, because normally I have my little green tank that I've shown you guys. It's in my refrigerator here in my studio. And so that's what I do every morning. I go get my 12 ounces of water in the kitchen. I come into the studio, boom, I get my scoop, and I'm drinking my AG1, man. And by the way, they also donate over 1.2 million meals to kids in 2020. No kids hunger here in the U.S., which is awesome. So all you got to do right now, okay, you'll get the 5 free travel packs. You'll get the year supply of your immune-supporting vitamin D. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Big O. You got that? athleticgreens.com/Big O. And then you will take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition. There you go, folks. AG1. You're going to love it, man. You're going to love it. You are definitely going to love it. Going to give you some lift, which is a beautiful thing. Tony Zagalis in the house, wishing everybody a happy 4th of July. Greater good. Christopher Giovanelli. Bromar, Gus 1388. Rosendo was first day, says happy Saturday, Big O Nation. Just wanted to say good morning and make sure everybody has a blessed day. Alberto is in. He says hello from Mexico. Lifetime Dolphin fan here. There you go, baby. This is the year. This is the year for the Dolphin. Yeah, man. Let's see what else. In 99, the Aggies bonfire collapsed during construction, killing 11 students. However, since 2002, a student-sponsored coalition has unsanctioned off-campus student bonfire. Oh, okay, there you go. So they are doing it. So there you go. You can still experience the bonfire. Brooklyn Rob in the house Saturday with the Big O. Life is good. Thank you, sir. That's too kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, bro, the greater good is right. Please smash the hell out of the like button. We're working hard for you on a Saturday, man. On a Saturday in July. Who the hell is going to give you 6 days a week? Nobody. Nobody is going to do that except yours truly. So give us a little love. All we ask is you smash the like button. Nothing wrong with that. If you want to get in, it's 855-912-1056 on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056. So Tucker's gone to Philadelphia. And I got to tell you, some of the options I've been reading from the guys, I'm not a TJ Warren guy. He's been a sack of injuries. He's more of a small forward. I wouldn't play him at power forward. Jay Crowder, that's still an option. Harrison Barnes, not bad. Miles Turner would be a guy that I think he's kind of underachieved in Indiana. Maybe they can make him better here. John Collins, I would love. I still have if Atlanta's going to keep everybody, then fine. But I just kind of get a feeling that they're going to move John Collins. But here's the most important part about all of this going on. There's enormous pressure on Pat Riley right now. And he doesn't have enough ammo to compete with Phoenix and to compete with Toronto for the services of Kevin Durant. Now, if Kevin Durant says, I only want to go to Miami, maybe he can create a problem for them. And then that would help Miami, but that's not the case. And from the reports, they say Suns are his first option, and the Suns have more picks and they have more young players to deal, and so does Toronto, including Barnes. So they have sexier returns. And then the Donovan Mitchell thing is still kind of hiding in the background. And then we saw the Rudy Gobert trade, and we'll get to that. So Donovan Mitchell, is he part of a rebuild, or is it part of a retooling of the team? Because Royce O'Neal getting traded, that was one of your better 3-and-D guys on your team. And now they acquired a shit ton of guys in that trade. I mean, they acquired guys that Patrick Beverly can play defense. Jared Vanderbilt they got Beasley. They've got a bunch of guys, Balmaro, Walker, Kessler. They got 3 unprotected first rounders. I mean, so what are they doing? Are they retooling, or are they tearing down and reloading? And what they're doing is getting in return, trying to at least create a competitive team once they trade their stars. And it's the thing that we haven't heard, and we haven't heard if Donovan has requested a trade or not. We don't know. Remember, him and Gobert weren't really, two peas in a pot, right? Like they say, or they weren't necessarily like hand in hand, hand in glove, whatever you want, whatever saying you want to use. So it wasn't the perfect partnership. So I don't think he's sad that Gobert is gone, but it's, what are you doing now to try to compete with everybody else? And if you see Phoenix is about to get Kevin Durant and Golden State is Golden State, then where do you stand in Utah? See what I'm saying? But here's where the pressure builds for Riley. Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler. You have already used up 3 years of Jimmy Butler, who already got here with a lot of mileage on that body. Okay? That extension that he signed, at one point or another, it's not going to look good anymore. I don't know when it is. I don't know when Father Time catches up to the man, but he plays so damn hard. We all admire the hell out of Jimmy Butler. But you see he's getting banged up. You see there are issues with him. So you've got maybe one more year that you can pull out of him, because I don't know what you're going to get in those final 2 years. And you already ruined this year already. Technically, it wasn't ruined because they maxed the team. They had a great year for us in our case. But in his case, in Riley's case, he's trying to win a title. So he couldn't win the title this year. So what does he do next year? And if he can't make the move, you and I know then they're not contenders. If they don't get Donovan Mitchell or Durant, they're not contenders. They'll be really good, but they're not going to be contenders unless you tell me you're saving Caleb, Strus, and Gabe are going to make monumental improvement, like earth-shattering improvement, that 2 of the guys are going to be borderline all-stars or something, then I tell you, okay, well, then maybe Miami's all right. But that's a lot to expect of those young guys. They already showed us a lot last year. They just need to build a little bit on that. But you can't put the weight of the world on those guys. That's unfair. So here's where the pressure builds for Riley, because the door of opportunity is closing, and closing quickly, because Jimmy Butler will not be the same player 2 years from now after he has more wear and tear and more playoffs and everything else. And he only has one gear. He can only play one way. That's the only way. He's not crafty enough to learn how to play farther and farther from the basket. He can't do what Wade did and then Vince Carter did in his career and those kind of things. That's not who he is. He doesn't have that kind of stroke. So this is where the pressure really builds on Riley, because you sold your soul and tied it to older players. Well, then now your opportunity and your window's very, very small. and the options are drying up for Miami. So the question is, does the desperation go up? And I would imagine that there is a certain level of desperation that is setting in for Riley. Time is no longer on your side. You can't sing the Stones here. Time is on your side. No, it isn't. It's not. The clock is ticking. The sands of the hourglass are going through. These are the NBA days of our lives. And you better take advantage of it right damn now. So I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to have to do something. Because, like I told you earlier in the week, if you don't make the move, they're still going to have a good season. But deep down inside, we know that the end game is no shot at a championship. Not the way Phoenix is going to improve if they get Durant. You already have Golden State. Philadelphia's now improved. Boston has improved. They ended up getting Brogdon. That's going to help them out. So they are everybody's making moves. Miami has not made moves. Miami has gotten worse. They haven't gotten better. Losing PJ Tucker, you got worse. How do you get better than that? You got to get better than when you had PJ. Now you've taken a step back. Clock is ticking, man. Tough position that Riley is in right now. Really, really, really tough position for Riley, I got to say. By the way, myedgedrink.com. Go check it out. Go to myedgedrink.com, the finest energy drink on the planet, baby. Yes. Zero aftertaste. Delicious. I'm telling you, delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. When you have that kind of combination, you have the perfect energy drink. Only 78 calories. Go check it out. Riley's looking for a player with an edge. You want to pick up an edge? Go to myedgedrink.com. Support the great sponsors that support our program. myedgedrink.com. Use our code BIG-O, and you're going to get 10% off. They're at myedgedrink.com. All right? Appreciate all of you. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button while you're watching there, too. Jesse says, so if the Heat don't land a big fish, should they change their mindset to acquiring expiring contracts and dump bad contracts? No, you can't, Jesse, because you're tied to bad contracts. So you have to wait for Jimmy and Kyle Lowry's to expire. And with Kyle, he becomes a sexy trade after next season because he'll have the 1 year left and it'll be an expiring contract. And then you can move him. The only way they don't move him is if he loses weight and he plays his ass off this year and plays well. And they say, okay, we can ride him for one more game, for 1 more year. But if you see anything of what you saw last year from Kyle Lowry, I'm not talking about missing time in the personal issue. I have no issues with that whatsoever. I understand that, respect the hell out of that. What I didn't respect with Lowry is that he didn't maintain his conditioning. And he let it go completely, which hurts him as an athlete. Okay? I'm not an athlete, and I can tell everyday life carrying around more weight is not a good thing, and you feel it. So it can't be good as an athlete. It's just not. So you can't go on taking extra contracts and all that stuff. They're already capped. So what are you going to do at this point? No, you have to try to get out of these contracts eventually to create space down the line. But right now, you made your bed. Now you have to lie in it. And the only way you lie in it is not by getting another older player, is go get, Durant is kind of an older player, but he's a superstar, or get a young guy, a younger star in Donovan Mitchell. We'll see. But remember, the Donovan Mitchell thing with Danny Ainge there, Danny Ainge and Riley hating each other. And then Wade is there also. So then that becomes uncomfortable because then there's perception, even though it may not be anything about it. But then for Wade, it's also uncomfortable. So this is the whole Mitchell thing on top of, he hasn't said that he's wants out. Utah hasn't said they're trading him. Utah hasn't said a damn thing. All the other things involved, I just have a hard time believing that those two are going to come eye to eye and get something hammered out, or, there's so much personal crap between those two guys. So I don't know. Tough, I got to say. It's not looking good, put it that way. He'll have a good season, but right now the chances of challenging for a championship aren't looking bright at the moment. But again, still we can't say that it's over, because some of you did that in football, and I told you, wait a minute, relax. Free agency just started. It's only a couple days in, and then eventually things happen. So we have to give this time, because something may end up happening here. Riley, you never underestimate, ever. Let's see, what else? Do you think there's more urgency for Tyler Hero to play like a starter, so in case we have to get that way? Oh, yeah. I mean, Rosendo, that's been the whole thing. It's you need Tyler to grow up and ball out, and no more injuries. He's had too many injuries throughout his career, and he had a key injury here at the end of the season. So he's got to be more durable on top of all of that. Not only do you need him to play better, he needs to be more durable also throughout the year. He's got to toughen up that body, man, build up more muscles. More muscles. He'd have a solid team now. If you can improve, of course, you'll try. But if teams are just playing games, move on. We'll see. Big O, what happens after Riley? Well, we'll talk about that when it happens, bro. Again, this is not the show to deal with hypotheticals that are not reality. Let's talk about the hypothetical of trying to trade for Durant. Let's try to talk about the hypothetical of trying to trade for Donovan Mitchell. Those are realistic hypotheticals. I don't know what's going to happen with Riley. Who knows when that's going to happen. So why the hell am I going to worry about it or talk about it? You know what I mean? When it happens, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're not solving jack shit talking about it now, because we have no idea what the pecking order is, who's going to take over, how's it going to work out, none of that. So that's just a way that's for fan shows. That's what I've realized now doing all of this. While we're the difference between our show and most shows is this is a legitimate talk show that talks about all sports. Okay? We're not, and nothing against fan shows, but we're not fan shows where, if you only talk about the Heat or only talk about the Dolphins, you only talk about the Panthers, then you're stuck in a corner. And then when your off season is there, or when there's dead time, you just end up talking about hypotheticals the entire time. And it's just, that's not what this show is about. We stay in the moment. We talk about what's going on in sports, music, life, whatever. We have some fun with it, things like that. We don't play the silly hypothetical game in order to create sports talk. Okay? Now, when I was in the middle of the pandemic with no sports for 4 months, that was interesting. But right now, there's plenty of things to talk about. We'll stay in the moment. I don't worry about, well, post Riley, what's going to happen? Let's get into it. Will it be Harrison's son taking over? Will they bring somebody in? Mental masturbation. Get a life. If we get Durant, we're going to have to give up Bam or Butler. No, they're not going to give up Butler. Trading for Durant seems unrealistic when he says he wants to play with Butler, Bam, and Lowry. Yes, you are correct, Tony, because Bam has to go. And I keep saying this. I know that they have to trade Simmons somewhere else. Trade him to Miami. That's the best way you get Durant. You have to take the bad with the good. But that other guy was talking about taking a bad contract. You really can't do that. There's the bad contract. The only way you can do it, because in order to get Durant, you say, well, we'll take Ben Simmons off of you. We'll give you Bam. And then the Suns can't match that. They don't have a Bam player to deliver. So that would be a really good move for them. You know what I mean? And then you throw in whatever else, a couple picks and a player, another player or two or whatever, and that's it. So you keep kind of your core and you ship Bam, and then you get listen, go back and listen to our show, I don't know, 7-8 months ago, something like that. I said it. Ben Simmons, one of the few teams that could save Ben Simmons is this one right here. His flaky ass, his, generational Z thinking, which is just whack the way some of these kids think nowadays. Miami is one of the few teams in the world that can save Ben Simmons from Ben Simmons. That's the only way I think it kind of works, because you trade Durant, but you also get rid of Simmons. So you got rid of Harden, Kyrie, and Simmons. You got rid of all your headaches. If you're the Nets, now you're starting with a completely clean slate, because remember, once you trade Durant, Simmons becomes the guy, and we all know he can't be the guy. He's not mentally there. Simmons is a guy that's going to be a facilitator, all that. He needs a couple of stars around him, because he's not going to elevate people. He's not going to take the team to another level and carry them and all that, because scoring he can't. And my Lord, that's what you got to do in this league. But if he can be the guy that facilitates to everybody, see, the problem is you can't have Ben Simmons and Bam Adebayo on the same team on the floor at the same time, because now you have two guys that can't shoot. That puts a burden on the other three. But if you get rid of Bam and keep Ben, then the guy that replaces Bam has to be a yurt, has to learn how to shoot more. Yeah, you're going to have to get somebody that can shoot better. Get the kid Miles Turner from Indiana or something. You're going to have to get somebody that's a little bit more of a shooter, because Ben can't. So everyone else has to be able to shoot. And remember, if you bring Ben Simmons here, Jimmy Butler can't shoot. So that puts a burden on the rest of the three guys too. Forgot about that. Okay, because I don't want Ben Simmons and I don't want Jimmy Butler shooting anywhere past 19 feet. I know Jimmy will occasionally make it, occasionally get on a little streak, hit a couple of shots here or there. But normally, I don't want anything to do with Jimmy Butler shooting deep shots. Nothing. I want him around the paint, attacking the rim with those freaking vice grips for hands that he has, and take it to the hole, because he is one of the best I've ever seen at contact and in traffic around the basket. Very few people I have ever seen in the history of the NBA control the ball through traffic, take hits, and still be able to score. That's a gift that Jimmy has that is superstarish. So it's a very interesting dynamic, I got to say. Jamie says, Big O, I'm so happy we didn't trade for Watson. I would be missing on my Finn's family, as I would be forced to give up my fandom. No Watson to Miami, probably the best move of the offseason. Yeah, definitely. Jimmy, doesn't he hate Simmons? Yeah, KJ, but unfortunately, he doesn't run the team, bro. And if you want to play with Durant, that's where Riley's going to sit down with him and say, you want to win a ring? Okay, I got you Durant. Yeah, we got you Ben Simmons, but you're going to have to help me with Ben Simmons. And then Jimmy's going to say, all right, let's do it. Because Jimmy would rather play with Durant. Because in the end, if Ben is struggling, you try to keep Gabe Vincent here and let him run the offense. And in scoring situations, you take Ben out and you put Gabe in. In defensive situations, you put Ben Simmons in. So you can do things like that if Ben doesn't improve his offense, which, but I just think that that's kind of the craziest way it could happen, that you have to take the Ben Simmons contract. And Phoenix doesn't have to take they have Phoenix and Toronto. I don't even know if Durant wants to go to Toronto, but Toronto and Phoenix have way more ammunition than Miami, that they don't have to take the Simmons contract, where Miami doesn't have enough ammunition that they would have to take the Simmons contract and move Bam. So if that can happen, then that's the way it would be. Big O, the only way I would take Simmons if he promises he's 100% committed. That they can tell you all they want, my brother. Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. You got to show me. Show me. That's what you got to do. So it doesn't matter to me what he says. He has no credibility. So why would I care what he says, Canes 1989? He has to show me. Zero credibility there. You have to assume that he's still going to be the same guy, and you got to try to convert him. What you cannot assume that somehow or another he's turned the corner and he's going to be, a real pro and all that stuff. You can't do that. Not with that guy. It's kind of like Kyrie. Kyrie can talk all the shit he wants. He's a flake. Until proven otherwise, he's nothing more than an incredibly talented flake. Simmons can't be traded to Miami without trading Bam. I said that. That's what I said. You move Bam and you take Simmons. You guys listening to me? Bad back. He won't be the same. Damaged goods. Bam is with Donovan Mitchell right now playing at Louisville. They have been together for about a week. Pat is trying to get Mitchell and KD. No, and don't be stupid, bro. Come on. Some of you, it's just, fans is short for fanatical, but it's also short for incredibly stupid sometimes. Arch Young, thank you for listening, bro. I appreciate your support, but I have to tell you, because when I do something incredibly stupid, I say I did something incredibly stupid. Okay? If you think they're trading for Mitchell and KD, you're a fucking moron. Are we clear on that? Okay? I hope you're willing to look in the mirror and go, damn, I'm really stupid thinking they're trading for KD and Mitchell. I have just been telling you, they don't have enough ammo to trade for KD. Some of you out there may be young. You know what you need to do? You probably need to stop doing drugs. I think that's what it is. You cannot have two players acquired via trade. They were signed to a type of extension. Well, then move them around, whatever. But you move Bam and then you get Ben Simmons. But one way or another, you got to. The only way you get Durant is by taking that Simmons contract. So you're going to have to move Bam. So if you can't move him to Jersey or Brooklyn, then you move him somewhere else. That's the only way. And then whatever you get for Bam, you ship it over to Jersey. Part of the deal. Whatever it is, Brooklyn. However you want, however the rules are, if you can't trade them for each, I know that you can trade them. The only way is if you get rid of Bam. Well, if you can't trade them directly to Brooklyn, then trade them somewhere else. But you're going to have to take the Ben Simmons contract. That's the only way. I would not trade Bam for Simmons. You're getting Durant. Nobody would trade Bam for Simmons. Okay? No one would trade Bam. Oh, well, Michael Jordan would. Michael Jordan would trade Bam for Ben Simmons because Michael Jordan, sucks. He's like horrible. He has no idea what talent is in basketball. Just because he had it doesn't mean he actually knows what it looks like. So, yeah, maybe Michael Jordan would be stupid enough to trade Bam straight up for Ben Simmons. But if you're getting Durant in return, I'm trading them in a heartbeat. I'll take the Simmons contract. I'll move Bam if you're giving me Durant. I have a much better chance of winning a title with Durant than I ever will with Bam Adebayo. I no longer trust Bam Adebayo to ever be that player we need offensively. I'm done with that. I'm done with the bullshit. It's the same thing as Huberdeau and Barkov and Bam. I'm done with all three. They're super talented, but they are what they are. They are what they are. They're not the guys that are going to have the dog in them to lead a team. Sorry. That's all. Barkov will never get pissed enough to take over a game. Bam will never develop the offense you need. And Huberdeau doesn't have the balls to be a Connor McDavid, whatever, any kind of top-notch player, Patrick Kane, you name it, he doesn't have that. Hell of a player, but he's not that kind of player. Durant's that kind of player. So if I have to take the Ben Simmons contract and I got to move Bam, I'm doing it right now. Like, I'm not waiting. The only way I win a title with Jimmy is if I can get Kevin Durant or I can get Donovan Mitchell. But if I cannot get those kind of guys, forget about it. And I'm going to trust Riley. Put it this way. While I don't trust Ben Simmons for as far as I can throw him, if I told you there's one person that you have to count on, one organization that you can count on to turn Ben Simmons around, which one is it? Which one is it? Miami. It has to be Miami. Miami's the only organization, pretty much San Antonio, Golden State, a couple. It's only a couple that you would say Ben has a shot at actually learning how to play. Get some balls, get some character, get some toughness. That's all. Big O, I just welcomed my first little one to the world Thursday. Nice. He's definitely a lucky boy being able to be grandfathered into the Dolphin family and hopefully sustainable success. Congratulations, DMB. What is the Mitchell situation? We don't know. Jordan is on his 9th head coach since owning the Hornets. He's terrible. De Niro says, as AJ is the internet, I'm sure Big O person wouldn't speak that way to any of us. He's just on a talk show personality thing. Now he told me to get a life asking for Riley earlier. Nothing personal. Yeah, no, you got to admit when you say stupid things. I do it all the time. Take shots at myself all the time. The dude thinking that you're going to trade for Mitchell and Durant, you're freaking on dope, dude. What kind of stupid shit is that? You're lucky if you can trade for one of them with the lack of ammo you have. This guy thinks you're going to trade for both. I mean, it's just stupid. It's ridiculous. Sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, yeah, I know that I'm screwed up on that one. We're all going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'll probably do it before this show's over. But it ain't going to be that I'm telling you that they're trading for KD and Mitchell. Come on, bro. Let it go. In hockey, Flip Forsberg is that disgruntled star. Yeah, I saw that about Flip. I saw that. I don't know. Let's see if they can get Flip Forsberg. I'll take it. Big time. I would love that. So go get me. And if you can't get that, by the way, if you're not going to get KD and you're not going to get Mitchell, which not looking good, folks. Then the John Collins move is one. Jay Crowder. Again, these aren't necessarily moves that might make you a championship contender, but at least you'll have a good season again. It'll be an entertaining season. That's all. Big O, I had a feeling you would be on today. Keep grinding. Thank you, sir. We always grind. Always. That's what we do. Just like Alarmo grinds every day here on the program. 1-800-ALARM-ME, folks. Protect your home. Protect your family. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Do what we do. Do what Sean does every single day. Check it out. Alarmo and the great people at Sloman's Home Security. 1-800-ALARM-ME. And listen, right now we're going to give away a free doorbell camera even on a Saturday. Okay? Right now. First 40 Big O listeners, and a bunch of you have been taking advantage of it. You will get your free doorbell camera. And when you use our professional installation and our low-cost central station monitoring, which, by the way, they are quick. If that alarm goes off, within seconds, they're yo, what's up? What's going on? They don't really answer that way, but Make sure you have your password ready, because if you don't, the cops will be there. Anyway, when you use our low-cost central station monitoring, we're going to give you an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery, baby. All you got to do is dial 1-800-ALARM-ME and mention the Big O Radio Show, and they will take care of you, the great people at Sloman's Home Security. And ask them for an Alarmo. Tell them, can you give me an Alarmo also? O's got one. I want one. Bring me an Alarmo. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see what else. I think by just adding John Collins, this team is already better than last season. Yes. Yeah, I would go with that. I don't know about defensively, because PJ might be still a little bit better as an old man defensively. But offensively, yes. I mean, John Collins would be a monster upgrade over PJ Tucker. I think he'll play well here, I think, too. Let's see what we got. 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Email bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com is another way that you can follow us here on Le Programme. What else do we have here going on? Cameron Wolf will join us in about 4 minutes. We'll talk to Cameron Wolf. Let's see. Yes, I saw about Voyager. And you know what? I thought they would be fine with the loan, and apparently not. So, like I told you guys the last week and a half or two here, get everything out of the coin exchanges and make sure you put it into a cold wallet. All right? And I've been telling you that. Mick from Bismarck, North Dakota is in. He says, love your show. Watson, what a joke. Tua, the real deal, fins up. Thank you, Mick, out in Bismarck, North Dakota. How cool is that? Got folks up in North Dakota checking out the show. Big O, what's up? This Kevin Durant stuff has me losing my mind from excitement and suspense. I hope Riley makes the trades. So do I. But I just think it's going to have to be a convoluted, crazy-ass trade for that to end up happening. That's the thing. So, does Big O watch The Boys? No, not yet. I have not watched The Boys. Plenty of you have been telling me about The Boys. And no, I am not watching The Boys. So, but everybody, it's The Boys. What's the other one that you guys keep mentioning to me? Stranger Things. Man, the bots are already, even on a Saturday, the porn bots are chiming in. It's amazing. Not that. All right, let's do this. Let's take a really quick break here. When we come back, I would hope that we're going to be joined by the one and only Cameron Wolf. All right, and we'll the Wolf Pack will get unleashed right here on the Big O Radio Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends.
Red Recover now offers a simple-to-use, professional-grade light therapy device designed to help your dog heal and live a healthier life. Red Recover emits red and infrared light therapy based on the same science that NASA developed, all in a soft, flexible housing pad powered by a convenient, rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Give your dog the same therapy that many veterinarians use today, but at a fraction of the cost. Pads are available in 3 sizes and come with attachment straps, clips, and an easy-to-use manual. Red Recover can help your dog with arthritic conditions, muscle soreness, intervertebral disc disease, ACL rehabilitation, performance, aging, and general health and happiness. You simply place the pad over the desired area and allow our proprietary Tri-Light therapeutic wrap to penetrate deep into the tissue where a number of healing parameters will be stimulated. When starting treatment, apply for 10 to 15 minutes daily and lessen the application time as needed for best results. Say yes to science and give your dog the care it deserves with Red Recover.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL insider Cameron Wolf.
There we go. Now we do it. There we go. There he is. Island, you're on a boat, right, or something? Where the hell are you?
I'm in the aquarium, man. I'm in Atlanta at the aquarium. So I just got back in town.
Oh, that thing's badass.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Aquarium. Yeah, so my wife loves it. So last time we went to Atlanta, we came. This time she wanted to come again. So, this is a time where I just do whatever wifey needs me to do.
No, hey, dude, but
it's
that's
dope.
actually, yeah. I went myself when I went for the SEC Media Days. That was one of the, besides the College Football Hall of Fame, and I also went to a concert because there was a concert during that time I was there. But I went. Everybody told me you got to go to the aquarium, and I went, dude, and it was awesome. It was really freaking
huge.
cool.
It's huge. They got a shark. They had a shark exhibit that was really dope. Learning a lot about sharks, the dolphins. We're gonna try to do a dolphin show, the sea lions. It's everything you would want in an aquarium. So
I would
dope.
suggest anybody that goes to Atlanta. Yeah, I'm telling you, that is one of the things you should do when you're in Atlanta. It's such a cool downtown area, by the way.
Yeah,
they've also
the cool thing, if you want to make a day out of it, is they have the Civil Rights Museum right next to it. We did that last time we were here. We're not going to be able to do it again this time. But you can double dip, spend 4 or 5 hours between the two spots, get your lunch, and that'll be a good day. So I think both museums are dope. But the aquarium, like for kids or for adults, it's a vibe out there. So
And by the way, the College Football Hall of Fame is there too. I'm sure you've been there. That thing is awesome. I love the College Football Hall of Fame. So they've done a marvelous job with their downtown area where everything's in walking. Yeah, man, they do a really good job.
And that's good because traffic in the city is rough. So all you got to do is go downtown and just stay there so you don't have to deal with the traffic.
Dude, tomorrow, Sunday, church time. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. The traffic is freaking brutal on a Sunday in Atlanta, bro.
Yeah, we're going to have to be strategic. Wifey wants to do brunch somewhere. We're not doing brunch downtown. We're going to find somewhere in the outskirts that we can not be in the congestion of all this traffic.
Yeah, dude. Like, people don't realize when you go to Atlanta, our traffic is bad. Their traffic is actually worse, I think.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
don't know why. Maybe a smaller area compared to people,
Mountains.
but yeah.
The mountains,
But
you
it's
can't get
everybody's
around it.
driving. I
Right.
think the opposite is in Miami, everybody's moving as fast as they can, reckless. In Atlanta, it's just slow. It's stop and go slow.
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing in Miami or South Florida, you can get off the highway and use other avenues to get by.
Yep.
Where when
You
you're in
can't do that in
certain
Atlanta.
cities, like in Atlanta, like you're stuck in a valley, you're screwed, bro.
Yep.
There's no way around a
Yep.
mountain.
No.
You're
You
done.
got to take the highway. Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. It took us. We got like within a mile of the aquarium, and then it took us another 45 minutes to get from where we were to the parking garage inside the aquarium. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I would
sure.
plan
So-
always, if you go to Atlanta, plan to go into downtown and plan to do a bunch of things in downtown so you don't have to be driving around all over the place, because it just you'll spend more time in your car, and it's just it's just not worth it. All right, so dude, I really enjoyed the conversation with Tyreek and Tua, and it had nothing to do with football, because this has nothing to do with football at this point in time, but the connection, the friendship, the job that they have to do in order to build each other up and all of that kind of stuff, which is all part of supporting each other in anything, bro. In a corporation, in a law office, it doesn't matter. You guys at NFL Network, you guys have to support each other sometimes in sharing stories and information and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
there's always and so in other words, that work environment, that vibe, it's there.
So what I thought was really dope about the podcast, and I think it's interesting because it's the first time I really thought about this. But in Tua's life, he's probably always been the biggest star in every single place he's been, whether it be high school, at Alabama, even early in his career here. Even when he wasn't playing, he's the person we talked about more. Tyreek Hill joins, and all of a sudden, he's got at least a match, if not a bigger star on a national scale than him. And he's got a guy who is very outward with his personality. And so he's a guy who clearly loves him and wants to hype him up. But it's so interesting to see another star and the yin and yang from how they interact. Because, Tua, although we've seen spouts of him showing a little bit more outward, we know him as a guy who's more humble, more internal, a guy who's not going to be the Tyreek, And so to hear Tyreek say some comments and the Tua piggyback off and make a joke and kind of hear them vibe and maybe how their friendship works, I think it gives you a little bit of realness in between them. And so I thought that was the dopest element of it. You hear Tyreek talking about, I'm going to be in your kitchen at 2 a.m., washing dishes. And I don't think, obviously he's not being serious, but I think he's just showing the support he wants to give for his quarterback. But one of the most interesting parts of the pod to me was and I think this kind of gets into the difference between Tua's personality and maybe what Tyreek can do for him is he was talking about getting the receivers together. And he was talking about, Tua was telling a story about how he wanted to get the guys together and he was asking them, where do they want to meet? And Tyreek's like, you're the quarterback. Tell us where we're meeting and we'll all show up. And I think to have somebody to say, hey, look, we're going to follow your line. Whatever you say is how it goes. I don't care how many Pro Bowls I made, how many years we're here. You're the head honcho. We're following you. I think that empowers your young quarterback. And I'm eager to see, from Mike McDaniel to Tyreek Hill, it seems like everybody's empowering him, not because he needed confidence, but because maybe he gets to go ahead, this is your team. Before Ryan Fitzpatrick was here, you probably had to take the back seat. When Brian Flores was here, it was very clearly his team, Flo's team. Now it's Tua's team. Even though Mike McDaniel will tell you this is Tua's team. And so when you empower your quarterback to have that, I think that allows you to get to different levels for where you want to go.
Well, listen, Dad doesn't let you drive the car until he thinks you can drive the car. He doesn't let you cut the lawn until he thinks you're not going to cut your fingers off running the lawnmower, right? I mean, that's what responsible parents do with their kids. And then you feel like, wow, I'm growing up. Dad's letting me do this. You know what I'm saying? And so in life, it's the same thing. You might become a trial lawyer, but at the beginning, when you walk into that law office, you're going to be doing a bunch of research until they feel that you're ready to go to take a small trial on and then a bigger one and a bigger one and so on and so forth. Well, this is I had this discussion with Omar. You cannot grow in any way, shape, or form in life if the people above you don't allow you to grow. And the guy he had last year coaching him did not believe in him, did not want him. Hell, in the middle of the season, he still thought, Jacoby Brissett was better, and he was sticking with him for a moment. And so when, I love when people turn this shit on Tua and they say, oh, well, he's not the real leader because he didn't want to be a captain. No, dude, you don't want to be a captain when somebody is not supporting you and they're going to be shitting on you constantly. And when you look at what Tua is right now, Tua now is see, here's the misconception of all of this. This is the real Tua we're watching now. This is the Tua that was at Alabama. The Tua that was here the last 2 years was sent into a shell by his coach because he didn't want him. Now his coach wants him, his teammates want him, and now he can actually be himself. Watch him be a captain. Watch him be a leader now. But you can't go in there and boss everybody when you haven't done it. And that's the other thing. Remember that conversation when Tyreek says, dude, you're the quarterback. You tell us where you need us to be, and we'll be there.
Right.
See, but here's the problem. You've been in locker rooms, and so have I. You cannot tell people what to do in an NFL locker room until you prove that you've arrived.
Right.
Unless you're Aaron Donald, that you signed a free agent contract and you're coming over, and if you want to walk in and start imposing your will, well, fuck, you're Aaron Donald. You can do that. Hey, bro, go ahead. You're Aaron Donald. Much respect to you. But in this league, Ryan Tannehill could never take over a locker room in the Dolphins because he never took over on the field. Now you're going to watch the kid take over on the field and in the locker room because the atmosphere has allowed him to be himself.
And I guarantee you this, because obviously the podcast is just starting. I don't know how many people watch it. I don't know what the numbers are, but I guarantee you a large part of the Dolphins locker room watched the podcast to see how Tua interacted, see how Tyreek interacted. And one thing that I don't think is talked enough about the dynamic of locker rooms, your locker room is defined on who gets paid. And so everybody in that locker room knows that Tyreek Hill got $30 million a year. Trust me. Everybody knows that he's the highest paid player on the team. He doesn't have to say anything. They know. They saw all the highlights. They know everybody. And so because of that, your locker room is going to follow, for better or for worse, the highest paid players in their team. So that's going to be your Tyreek Hills. That's going to be your Xavier Howards. That's going to be, your Teron Armstead. Those are going to be the guys who are, your culture is going to be built on those guys. And so when the first thing you hear in the podcast with your quarterback is Tyreek Hill giving him permission, empowering him to be the guy. Everybody else, if they were on the fence, which everybody might not have been fully in on the Tua brigade. There might be some people who are on the fence. But you hear Tyreek Hill all in on his quarterback, saying, all in, this is our guy. We believe in you doing that. Your natural inclination in that locker room is to say, all right, I'm with it. Let's ride. It's Tua's team. Let's ride. And so, intentional or not, I think there's power in those words, and it gives confirmation to the rest of the locker room that this is the path that we need to go. And so, I think that Tua, if he hadn't realized that, is realizing that this offseason, that with Mike McDaniel, with Tyreek, this is your team. We're all in on you. We're giving you that power. And then he's embracing it. And now you're starting to see the outward personality that a lot of people who I know of him, know him, are saying is truly who he is. And so that's the part I'm excited about. Obviously he's got to do it on the field. All this is great in June, but I think we're setting up for him to have that year that you think he can have, I think he can have, and really quiet a lot of the naysayers. So I think that everything we're seeing is setting up for where I think it's going to be a really strong year 3 for Tua.
Look, some of the same crap is going on in Jacksonville. I read an article where, Trevor Lawrence is now picking up things faster. And I'm like, he's a second-year player that went through a first year with Urban Disaster Meyer. Dude, he's not the problem. He's just a young player that needs to learn the NFL, but he needs the proper people around him in order to succeed. I'm old enough, dude. I saw Steve Young kick ass for the LA Express in the USFL, then go to Tampa Bay Bucks and looked like a freaking, a bum. But we all knew Steve Young wasn't a bum. He was just stuck in a bum-ass place like the Bucks in those days.
Right.
And then guess who
Right.
wanted him? Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh went and grabbed him from Tampa and parked him behind Joe Montana. A lot of times, Archie Manning went through hell because he was on a bad Saints team. Steve Bartkowski, where you're at in Atlanta, is a bad mother effer. But he was on the freaking Falcons, bro. And so he never really got to see big-time success because he didn't have the people around him. And to me, Trevor Lawrence and Tua are a products of their environment the last 3 years. Tua 2, Lawrence 1. And I think they'll both see different things now with proper leadership around him. And we blame these young men, and we really don't take the time to look at what's going on around them.
Yep. A lot of times your success is defined on where you end up. David Carr might have ended up being a quarterback who was better if he didn't land in the worst franchise, in the Spencer franchise, who got him sacked 70 times a game. But we'll never know.
Amen.
And that's just the reality of the situation. So hopefully for Miami's sake, they fixed it so that Tua is not that same story. So that we're talking about, the same way people forget that Peyton Manning had a disastrous first year or two, where he had more interceptions and touchdowns. Nobody ever talks about that when you talk about Hall of Fame Peyton Manning, because the rest of his career bounced back. And I'm not saying Tua is going to be that, but I'm saying you forget about the start of your career if everything else defines itself the way you want after your first start. So I think this is a very key year, but I do think that he's set up better to succeed than he has been at any point in his NFL career. And so that's a huge sign for him, big opportunity, and I think he's ready for it.
All right, man. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. I appreciate you catching up with us here on a Saturday, my friend. Thank you for taking some time. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. Cam, thank you, my man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
You got it. There you go. The Wolf Pack has been released.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All righty. And by the way, I promised you that we were working on another guest, and we got him. I got my buddy Tony Jones, who does an excellent job of covering the Jazz for many years now for The Athletic. And the Rudy Gobert trade went down yesterday. And so what's going to go on with Donovan Mitchell? Well, why don't we talk to the guy that's been covering Donovan Mitchell every single day of his career since he's been in Utah. We will talk to the Brooklyn-born and Philadelphia-raised Tony Jones, T. Jones on the NBA on Twitter from The Athletic. So he will join us over there from Utah, and we'll talk Rudy Gobert, and we'll talk Donovan Mitchell. We'll get his thoughts. We don't know what's going on in Utah, right? Heat fans, you want to know what's going on in Utah? We're going to tell you what's going on in Utah with a Utah Jazz writer that knows his shit, man. Tony's awesome. So if you haven't seen or heard Tony on our show over the years, well, you will get your opportunity. He great interview, great vibe, great personality, and we'll have some fun with him. And we'll get the skinny on what he thinks is going to happen with Donovan Mitchell. Okay? Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Always appreciate all of you out there smashing the hell out of the like button, man. It really is needed. By the way, Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, they are celebrating their 14th anniversary. So what are you waiting for? Get on down there to 15601 Pines Boulevard. We were out there yesterday to promote it. They've got the 2023 Integra in. It is nice. $369 a month is the lease feature right now for it. They've got 2022 models, of course, the TLX. That is a beautiful car. The technology package, $479 a month. If you're looking for certified pre-owned vehicles, well, guess what? They've got them, and as low as 0.99% financing for the RDX, the TLX, the ILX, the MDX. Check out the fleet of certified pre-owned vehicles and the new vehicles over at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We love the great people, Larry Schlossberg and all the awesome people out there at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. All right? So appreciate all of you out there as always. So yesterday, we went 12-2. We did it again. We hit it. We got our liquor split matchup of the night. We are on one hell of a roll right now, man. 12-2 against the number. 12-2 against the number. It's a hell of a run, man. Can we make it 13-2? Let's find out.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
So we're going to try to hit Marino today. Oh, sorry. We hit Bob Greasy at 12, right? 12-2. So our matchup of the night yesterday, we told you to take Atlanta minus 1.5 runs against Cincinnati. I didn't like the starting pitcher, Mike Minor, for Cincinnati. He didn't pitch bad. He actually allowed 2 runs in 6 innings. The problem was the 2 relief pitchers that came after allowed some runs. But Atlanta won comfortably, 9-1. So if you laid the 1.5 with me, you are on a roll. We're 12-2 together in the last 14 liquor split matchups of the night. And I didn't go on the Marlins game. And remember, I told you that I just don't trust what's going on with the Marlins. And I didn't like that the Nationals were favored by a 1.5 yesterday. And the Marlins, Trevor Rogers had been so inconsistent. And what did I tell you yesterday? The problem with Trevor Rogers, he's been inconsistent, but he can get it done. And he did it yesterday, 5 innings, 1 earned run, 4 Ks. Brian Anderson hit a solo home run, no Chisholm and everything, and they still got it done 6-3 against the sorry-ass Nationals. So tonight this afternoon, it's Daniel Castano taking on Jackson Trialt. And Jackson's 2-1 with a 4.24 ERA. And Castano is 0-1 with a 2.57 ERA. Marlins are favored by a 1.5. The over and under is 9.5 runs on this one. And Castano's actually pitched well. But I guess Vegas doesn't have a lot of respect for Castano or Trialt. Just like my man Mish, he's not a Castano guy. Washington is plus 100 in the money line, and Miami is minus 120. Guess what? I'm not touching this game. I'm not touching the Marlins game, but I just wanted to give you the game, the Marlins game for tonight, and give you the line. I'm going with the Baltimore-Minnesota game. Well, right now, they've got Jordan Lyles taking on Sonny Gray this evening. Jordan Lyles is 3-5 with a 6.47 ERA. In the last 28 innings, Jordan Lyles has allowed 20 earned runs, 19 Ks, and a 6.28 ERA. He's allowed 4 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 outings. So he has not pitched well. Okay? Baltimore actually won yesterday 3-2 against Minnesota. Baltimore's sorry. Minnesota's really good. But they had Spencer Watkins on the mound, which is their second best pitcher. Tyler Wells, I believe, is their best pitcher who's got like a 3.2 ERA. He's 6-4. But here's the thing, man. Sonny Gray is 2-0, got a 2.4 ERA. In the 10 outings this year for Sonny Gray, he has allowed 0 earned runs, shutouts 4 times. 2 earned runs 4 times, and 1 earned run 1 time. Okay? And one 3 earned run game. That's his worst outing in 10, allowing 3 runs. And you're listening to me, Jordan Lyles has allowed no less than 4 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 outings. The line, Minnesota's minus 1.5 runs. The over and under is 9 runs. Baltimore is plus 190 right now on the money line, and Minnesota is a whopping 235 on the money line. I'm not going to tell you to lay the money line. I'm not going with the over and under. I'm going with Minnesota here. I'm going to lay the 1.5. I'm going to count on Sonny Gray to put together another solid outing against a bad team like the Orioles. And I'm counting on the Twins to put up enough runs to win by those 2 runs that I need here. I think they'll win by 3 or 4, maybe 5 runs in this game. Go with Minnesota minus 1.5 in this game. Okay? That, my friends, is our liquor split matchup of the night.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
There we go. That's our liquor split matchup of the night. Thank you all, as always, for tuning in and keeping it locked here and giving us the edge we need every single day with our Edge energy drink. Damn. You know what I was it damn it, Master, what was the name of that thing that I watched yesterday? Well, it doesn't matter. Well, I'll get to it down the line. No one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Honey, where you at? Oh. We can't do that here because then all of a sudden then the show becomes pornographic. Can't tap the app right here. Or that app that I'm talking about. Honey? Anyway. So we got you with our liquor split matchup of the night. Did you guys see? Oh, by the way, Seth Levitt and OJ McDuffie, they do a great job with the fish tank. And those of you that are Dolphin fans, I'm not sure if you've seen the fish tank, but if not, you should actually subscribe to the fish tank. What the hell are you doing? What the hell is wrong with you? What kind of a Dolphin fan are you not watching the fish tank? Anyway, so Seth apparently spilled some water while he was editing a show. And the water developed an interesting shape. Check it out. Check it out. How about that? It's a fish. Look at that. The fish tank spilled water, and one of the water droplets, or several of them, formed a fish-like. He says, is it a sign? I tweeted back to Seth, I said, this one looks better than the original logo that we have right now. He didn't comment publicly, of course. He's not going to do that. I'll do that because I don't give a shit. I'll say it like I don't care. I love my Dolphins. I hate that whale logo. Oh, my God, that whale logo is terrible. But there you go. That's a sign. It shows you that, it's going to happen. We have the edge now. Not only because you can grab an Edge energy drink at myedgedrink.com. No. We have the edge now because droplets are forming into dolphins. Although I will admit it kind of looked more like a shark than it did a dolphin. But it's a sign. It's a sign. They're coming, baby. Dolphins are coming. We're getting after you. That's for damn sure. All right, 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the program, that's 855-912-1056. All right, we've been on actually a little more than an hour. So let's do this. Give me 2 minutes here. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little basketball. Tony Jones covers the Utah Jazz. We want to find out what's going on with the Utah Jazz, okay? What's the deal with the Utah Jazz? Are they going to move Donovan Mitchell? Let's find out with the man that covers Donovan Mitchell every single day he's been in this NBA. Tony Jones is next.
When When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com. South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at FLPDjobs.com. That's FLPDjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
What? Oh, look.
Hey guys, this is Hayden Hurst, NFL tight end. I'm partnering today with Red Recover. We're going to run you guys through some drills. I started using Red Recover last year, my 4th year in the NFL. It just helps me on Mondays after games, get my recovery process started, get back into the fold of the week, and get ready for the following Sunday. And if you want to recover like me, use Red Recover.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Welcome back. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Tony Jones of The Athletic. How you doing, T? You doing all right?
My God, man. How you doing? Been a long time.
Great, man. Yeah, man. It's been a while. And obviously, here in South Florida, there's some rumblings going on as Riley is going whale hunting. And although it's drying up a little bit out there, the options for Pat Riley right now. Let's get into what's going on with you guys there. Gobert goes. The Royce O'Neal trade goes. What is happening, first of all, before we ask about the trade in Utah? Are they on a rebuild or on a retooling?
Well, it's a retool for the Jazz. Obviously, 2 trades within 48 hours involving 2 starters, one involving one of their 2 best players. But the Jazz are just trying to retool on the fly. Danny Ainge realized that the core that topped out in the first round against Dallas, he felt like that core kind of reached its end, and he's going about changing the core, trying to do it on the fly, and that's what you have. So, we thought, I started reporting that Gobert, it was a possibility that Gobert could go long time ago, probably around 6 weeks ago. It finally came to fruition yesterday.
So the Donovan Mitchell situation, and listen, I'm almost thinking this is going to be impossible anyways, because Ainge and Riley hate each other. So I don't even know how Ainge would want to help Riley anyway. That part to me doesn't make any sense as it is. But I haven't heard Donovan Mitchell say he wants to leave. I haven't heard that they're trying to trade him. There's been no inclination. That's just crap that we're making up down here. So you're closer to the situation than any of us ever will be. Is Donovan Mitchell there for the long run? Are they keeping Donovan Mitchell, or is there a chance that he still could be moved?
Well, it depends on what you define as a long run. Do I think that if you had to put a percentage on whether he's in a Jazz uniform this year and through this year up until this time next summer, I'd put that around 90% or better. The Jazz don't have any intentions of trading Mitchell. Mitchell hasn't asked out. The Jazz are trying to, simply put, the Jazz are trying to rebuild their roster around Mitchell. So I know that there's been, a lot of speculation nationally about what Utah's intention with Mitchell is, or what Mitchell's intentions are with Utah. None of my sources, and I have numerous sources, none of them have indicated that the Jazz are amenable to trading Mitchell at this point. Every last person that I've talked to has said that we're not trading Mitchell. We don't have any intention of trading Mitchell. So, it could be all smoke and bluster, but I just don't see it at this point.
So then here's what I ask you, because they've got a haul of picks. They've got 3 of them that are unprotected in the whole Gobert move. And this is the part that we're not talking about. So are the Jazz whale hunting? Because they've got ammunition. They can do things. Everybody keeps talking about the Jazz trying to get rid of people. And sure, they got rid of Gobert, but come on, man. We all know that the Mitchell-Gobert thing wasn't like a great relationship as it is. And in today's NBA, you got to score more, man. And Gobert is a fantastic defender, but I get it. You want to get more points. So talk to me. Maybe people are misreading the Jazz. Maybe the Jazz are trying to reload so they can go out and try to go get another star to put next to Mitchell. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that there's some validity to that. I don't know if that comes this summer. I know that there's been some stuff out there that the Jazz are possibly interested in DeAndre Ayton, and that could possibly come to fruition in any possible Kevin Durant trade that lands Durant in Phoenix. But, I think right now, and I could tell you this specifically, I've been told that going forward, the Jazz are trying to supplement their roster with wings, and they are looking for a big. Because right now they're the only big on their team, right? The only 2 bigs on their team right now are Walker Kessler, who they just acquired in the trade from Minnesota, and Udoka Azubuike, and an undrafted free agent in Kofi Coburn, who's the All-American out of Illinois. But they don't have a starting level big that they feel that's on the roster right now. So, do I think I did specifically ask about Ayton yesterday. I was told that there's nothing imminent on that front. But, I will say this. When I started hearing rumblings about Minnesota pushing to the forefront, I asked about Minnesota this week, and I was also told that there's nothing imminent on that. So, things can heat up quickly in the trade world. I would not be shocked if the Jazz made a play at Ayton. But we'll have to just sit back and see what happens a little bit.
The way I see those guys, they can make a move for Harrison Barnes. They can make a move for Miles Turner. They can make a move. I don't know if Atlanta really is going to keep John Collins, but that would be another one that kind of fits what they need. I mean, because you kind of look what he did with the Celtics. You kind of got to feel that he's going to try to do the same kind of thing there in Utah, right? He's going to try to find that other guy to pair with Mitchell.
That's why the picks package with Rudy Gobert is so significant. It gives you moves on the chessboard that you can make. You can keep those picks. For me,
and they have their own, right? And they have their own too, right?
Well, that was the thing. They didn't have their own, so they still don't have a pick in 2024, but they do have 3 first-round picks in 2023.
Okay.
And the most valuable of the picks for the Jazz from Minnesota are the 2027 pick, which is unprotected when Rudy Gobert is not going to be on the books, and 2029, which is top 5 protected, which Rudy Gobert is going to be on the books. I think anything short of that, especially among the 3 picks next year, are kind of in play as the Jazz kind of figure out what they want to do. I know that Atlanta is still amenable to moving John Collins. Obviously we know that Miles Turner is probably available. Obviously we know that DeAndre Ayton is probably available. So there's stuff that the Jazz can do. Tobias Harris in Philly he's probably available. I'm not sure whether the Jazz want to take on somebody who has a $37 million salary coming up next year. But I know that Harris is available as well. So the Jazz were going to be a trade team, but right now they have like 8 guards on their roster, and like 5 shooting guards on their roster. So they're going to have to figure something out there. So it's going to be really interesting in the next few weeks to see what the Jazz do.
Tony Jones joining us from The Athletic, well connected in the league. And Tony, what's your gut tell you? Because I know now they're throwing Toronto in the mix, and obviously they have the ammunition, but I don't know if Durant wants to go to Toronto. And Miami, as much as I would love to see him here with our Heat, I just feel like the Suns and the Raptors have more ammunition. So what's your gut tell you? Where does Durant end up? And the caveat to all of this, is there a way that they can come up with a 3-team trade where they move? Because this is the only way I think Miami could end up with Durant, that they take the Ben Simmons contract off their hands. But you have to move Bam. Now, NBA rules, can you move Bam back to Brooklyn? Can you trade the 2 players? Or do you need a 3rd team to move Bam to a 3rd team so you can take the Simmons contract? Walk us through that rule.
So the rule is you can't have 2 designated rookie max deals on the same team. But the rule, so here's the rule with Bam. Bam, the rule is you have to be, it would have to be a trade. So Donovan Mitchell can't go to the Brooklyn Nets if Ben Simmons is on the team, because Ben Simmons has already been traded and Donovan Mitchell would have already been traded. But Donovan Mitchell could come to the Miami Heat because Bam Adebayo has not been traded. He was drafted. So that's the wrinkle in that rule. So Ben Simmons and Bam,
you can't trade Bam straight up for Simmons. That part of the trade.
So what happens is you can trade Ben Simmons to Miami. You can't trade Bam to Brooklyn.
Okay, you got to trade him to the Jazz.
Okay. So Ben Simmons could come to Miami, but Bam could not go to Brooklyn with Ben Simmons on the roster because Bam was drafted.
All right.
So, if you're the Heat, you probably do need a 3rd team. And I do agree with you. You probably have to take the Ben Simmons trade because he has negative value right now. Really negative value.
And by the way, I talked about this like 7 or 8 months ago, Tony. It's San Antonio, Golden State, Miami. There's only a couple places that might save that kid. Miami is actually one of the places that could save that kid because they're great at player development. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons, I don't know if he'll succeed in most places. It has to be a place that knows how to develop talent. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, as much as I'm not really a Ben Simmons guy, I got to give this organization all the credit in the world. They know how to develop players, man. They know how to reach them sometimes. Hell, they got the most out of Whiteside. I mean,
I think Ben's got to save himself at this point, though. And he's got to want to save himself. And I don't know that there's a desire for him. He's got to prove that he wants to play basketball. And, and I think that's the big thing with Ben Simmons. That everybody in the league is kind of questioning with him. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. My thing with Kevin Durant is I don't know why Denver is not offering Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. and like 3 or 4 first-round picks to try to pair Durant with Jokic.
Injuries, maybe. I don't know. It's a
Well,
great question.
If I were Denver, I would offer that trade all day.
Yeah, for sure.
But
sure. Now the
we'll
question is,
happens.
but the question is, Tony, how much is Durant controlling where he wants to go? Does he want to go to even Denver? Does he want to go to Toronto? Because all we hear from reports are Suns and Miami. So are those other teams even in play? What have you heard from the Durant camp?
Well, I mean, I've heard what I've seen, which is that Durant probably wants to go to Phoenix, but you never know with some of this stuff. And the important thing to keep in mind about Durant is that he's got 4 years left on his contract, which means, if I'm the Nets, I'm not obligated to send him where he wants to go. I'm more obligated to send him where I can get the best package. It's the same thing with Donovan Mitchell. One of the things, he's got 3 years left on his contract. If he truly asked out, we're talking about Danny Ainge here. Danny Ainge will send him, where he's going to get the most value from. He's not going to necessarily send him where he wants to go. So he wouldn't necessarily send him where he wants to go. So, the shorter the contract, the more leverage I believe the player has. The longer the contract, the more leverage I believe the team has. And, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with Durant.
All right, we'll wrap it up with this. What's your gut tell you? Where does Durant end up? Since it looks like Mitchell's going to stay in Utah, where does Durant end up? What do you think?
I probably think that he ends up in Phoenix or Toronto.
Okay.
Toronto. If Masai goes to Brooklyn and says, "Hey, you take Scotty Barnes, Gary Trent, Precious Achua, and like 3 or 4 first round picks." It's hard. It would be hard for me if I'm Brooklyn to turn down getting Scotty Barnes, because I think he's going to be an All-NBA player like 5 to 7 times.
Yeah. I like what I saw from Scotty Barnes. If you're a basketball fan, you need to follow my man Tony on Twitter at TJones on the NBA, covering the Jazz and the NBA for The Athletic. As it says on his byline, Akron born, Brooklyn and Philly raised. By the way, I feel bad for your Brooklyn folks. Wow, man. That came and went, dude. It was like all of a sudden we were going to be a monster, and all of a sudden we're back to being midgets. I mean, it just, oh God, I feel bad for those fans. That's a tease, bro.
I'm a Knicks fan. I'm in a Knicks family, so we don't have any sympathy.
No, yeah, you have your own problems.
We got our own issues right now.
All right, T, as always, I appreciate you taking some time on a Saturday, man. Have a great 4th of July weekend. Thank you, my friend.
No problem. Thanks, my guy.
You got it. There you go. Tony Jones getting it done, baby. That's what it's all about. Thank you, T. Appreciate you. There you go. All right. Good stuff as always.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
All righty, we are back, and we thank Tony Jones for joining us. Excellent insider. And if you're a basketball fan, follow him, T Jones on the NBA. Good follow on Twitter, man. And Red Recover. Oh yeah, I tell you all the time. Here's my Red Recover hat. There's the lights. My hair is growing back, which is a beautiful thing. You can get this hat. You can get all kinds of treatment, whether you're looking for elbow, shoulder, neck, back. The kids during the summer, they are going to be playing all kinds of sports. So not that I'm looking forward to it, but I'm just telling you it's going to happen. Strains and sprains, all kinds of stuff. And you want to heal all natural. That's why you want to go to redrecover.com. I swear by it. I'm telling you, folks. Listen, you're working out. As you get older, you get the sore knees. You're young, your body's sore. You want to recover. Redrecover.com. Professional athletes like Hayden Hurst uses it. Red Recover is ideal for anybody suffering from even chronic pain, such as arthritis, neck or lower back discomfort. Only 15 minutes a day will bring about tremendous relief. I know because I see it with my wife. She has knee issues. And when it's raining a lot, she has some issues. She puts that on. When she goes walking for a certain amount of time, she comes back, she has sore knees. She puts it on for 15 minutes a day, and it alleviates the pain, and that's what it's all about. It optimizes your performance. It helps you recover. Go to redrecover.com. It's great for kids. It's great for the adults, and it's even great for your dogs. And, our dogs, as they get older, they develop all kinds of issues, whether it's hip or arthritic issues. Red Recover has sleeves for your dogs to help in all parts of their bodies also, to give them 10 to 15 minutes of treatment a day. Absolutely painless, absolutely drug-free. It's all natural. That's what it's all about. And you're going to get 10% off when you mention the Big O. So put in that code, Big O. Go to redrecover.com. I swear by it. Check it out for yourself. You'll love it. Redrecover.com. And if you don't see the hat to grow your hair back, men or women, by the way, my wife is using the hat also because her hair is thinning out a little bit. So she is using the hat also so your hair starts growing fuller. Man, I'm 55, man. I've been using this for I don't know, 9 months, 10 months, almost a year. And my hair is pretty damn full for a 55-year-old. And I thank Red Recover for that, as it continues to fill in the bald spot that I have here. And my hair is actually growing a lot fuller now. So check it out, redrecover.com. It's a beautiful thing. I think Kyrie and KD are trying to get traded to the same team. I don't believe they really want to get traded to the Heat. No, that's not. Neither one is happening. I don't think he wants to play with Kyrie ever again, my brother. I disagree with you, Jermaine. I think he had enough of Kyrie. John says, we are not trading for Durant, taking Ben Simmons with him, LOL. We would turn into the Nets. No, not really. Not really, because you don't have to give him a long-term contract or anything. He's got his normal contract. You're out of it in 2 years. I think that's what it is, right? Hasn't even been in the league like 3. So you can get out of that contract very soon. It's a small window where he has to prove, and then you get him and you get rid of him. So it's not so bad. Right? What else do we have here to talk about on Le Programme here? Oh, by the way, great week for the Canes. Yesterday, they got 4-star tight end Riley Williams. He picked the Canes over Alabama and Ohio State. How awesome is that? Look, I don't get too high or low about recruits, 4, 5-star. I don't give a crap about that stuff. Until I actually see the kid on the field, that's when I'll get excited about the kid. When I actually, like the Williams kid in the safety position, you see him and you're like, holy shit. Now, wow, that's a player. You know what I mean? And that's when you get excited. Once I see him on the field and making plays, you're like, wow. But I love that you're not beating out Army and Northeast Missouri State for somebody. No, you're beating Alabama and Ohio State. That's a good sign. That's a 4-star player. And they just got 3 tight ends to commit overall. They got Jackson Carver and Reed McKeeska. Okay. This kid, Riley, by the way, his older brother, Corbin, ended up playing for Mario at Oregon. Riley is 6'6", 230, caught 36 balls last year for 890 yards and 14 touchdowns. He's now transferring to the IMG Academy over in Bradenton this season. So he'll be a lot closer here to Miami, and that'll give Mario and the staff an opportunity to go check up on the kid and keep up the relationships. So you got Jaden Rashada in the last month, a 4-star QB, Nathaniel Joseph, the 4-star wide receiver, and Robert Stafford, that is, the 4-star cornerback on top of Riley Williams, the 4-star tight end, to commit. So you're now getting, these highly rated players. And Mario Cristobal, brother, kudos to you, man. I admire the hell out of your hard work, your determination, your dedication, your passion. It is freaking awesome, and it comes through. I see it. Fans see it. Players see it. Your coaches see it. Your administrators see it. Your competition sees it. And the competition is nervous. The competition is saying, oh, shit. We got a guy that knows what the hell he's doing, and you're not going to outwork him. And that's half the battle in life is being willing to work. If you're willing to work, you're going to get results. And that's exactly what's going on with Mario Cristobal. He's willing to work, and he is getting some sick-ass results, man. That's pretty cool. That is very cool, actually. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? By the way, hopefully Inter Miami can get it done on Monday, 9 o'clock, July 4th. They take on Dallas. See if the boys can continue their winning ways. They've been playing much better. It's so much more fun to watch this Inter Miami team. Kudos to the head coach, to Phil Neville, and kudos to Chris Henderson in the front office, who clearly is making a monster difference. And now when he starts getting his money available again, and he's able to go out and get some DPs, this time around, they'll get better DPs than they did the first time around. Much better DPs. They did an absolutely horrible job at the beginning with this team. The Tua Tyreek relationship has stirred up all kinds of emotions with people. And I really enjoy, in a way, because I feel good about Tua. And I listen, outside of injuries, I don't worry about this kid. I don't worry about him playing. I think will figure everything out. I think he can make every throw in the book. I am not worried whatsoever about Tua Tagovailoa. Okay? None. To me, as I've said from the get-go, it's been more about the environment around him that's been toxic, that's been irresponsible, that's been just, I don't know, mind-blowing, because none of it makes any sense, the shit that they've done around him. But now, it's nice to see that he's in a much better place. He's a guy that now feels comfortable with his environment, and now he can be himself, which I think that's the part that, we just talked about a little bit about it with Omar yesterday, just talked about it with Cam, and I think a lot of you are going to realize this. What happened the last 2 years was it actually hurt Tua, it didn't help Tua. And now you're going to actually see the real Tua, and I think you're going to be able to see a guy grow, which I think is really, really important overall. And I saw this article for Trevor Lawrence, and I laughed. And I'm gonna read this article for you, or read just a little excerpt of the article, because I've just found it funny. And this is sometimes, and listen, media and fans are guilty. Fans obviously are guilty as hell usually, because they, a lot of them don't really read into things the right way, but a lot of media members also F up. Okay. We'll call out the media members too. But Jags coordinator Mike McCoy says sophomore quarterback Trevor Lawrence is making quicker decisions this offseason, according to John Shipley of SI. Changing plays at the line of scrimmage is a new development for Lawrence, who in 21, quarterback by Jacksonville offense by the clueless Urban Meyer. Lawrence said last year was really my first time really dealing with checking in and out of things, getting us in the right play, good matchup, routes, whatever it is. In OTAs and minicamps this offseason, Lawrence has demonstrated his ability to adjust to defenses, tweaking plays on the fly, and playing faster should make the offense superior to to the predictable, inefficient Jacksonville offense of 2021. Here's my problem with narratives. Trevor Lawrence wasn't the problem last year. The environment was his problem, just like Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, the environment is your problem, just like when you watch Steve Young in Tampa and then you watch him in San Francisco. It's the environment that's around you that will not allow you to succeed. As Cam Wolf mentioned, Derek Carr, okay? No, I'm sorry, David Carr, Derek's older brother, who came into the league and was super talented but got sacked 70 times a year, was beaten to a pulp. Maybe that's why he never became the guy. Sometimes your environment will ruin you and you don't have a chance to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my problem with these narratives. And they do this with Tua all the time, and we've talked about this. Oh, they made excuses for Tua. Well, wait a minute. Is it a fact that the line sucked, or is that an excuse? It's a fact, right? Is it a fact that the running game didn't work, or is that an excuse? No, it's a fact. Is it a fact that they didn't have a quarterback's coach or an offensive line coach or an offensive coordinator that knew what the hell they were doing? Is that an excuse, or is that a fact? But then you spin it as excuses, and then you create your narrative. And the same thing with Trevor Lawrence. Well, he's making faster reads. No, he didn't have people to show him last year because you probably had a moron that thought you could still call plays from the sidelines and let everybody else read, off the signals instead of cards. Because that's Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer was the problem for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is not a problem. Trevor Lawrence will be fine. Tua will be fine. But nobody's going to succeed if you got shit around you. And that's the difference. So when I saw that Trevor Lawrence story, I thought about Tua. Because you create these narratives because you're the ones that end up, you don't watch that they're burying these kids by not helping them succeed. Found it funny as hell. I really did. 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. What else do we have? Pat Riley wouldn't be able to help him either. You think Simmons? But if there's somebody that could help him, it's this organization. You might be right. You might be right. Daryl Ray says, great. There's your voice. I listened to 560 QM back in the day. Daryl, let's go Fins. Heat should get Durant for Miami. Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate you. Please subscribe to the channel. And please subscribe to both our channels. Not only the Big O Radio Show, but Big O Show Cuts. That one's also going to have some live programming. So we need to get to 1,000 on that one. So please help us. Let's get to 13,000 here on this one too. So please share the link to folks and tell other Doll fans, Heat fans, Marlins fans, Panther fans, Inter Miami fans, sports fans, crypto fans, music fans. Tell them about the show, man. Tell them about the show. Simmons posted on IG feeling incredible. That means he's really miserable. Dude looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. Rosendo says the future is looking bright for the U. Yes, sir. Let's see. I like how Tua said in the interview that he's a nice guy off the field, but on the field, he's not so nice. It's the way it is. Oh, Dwayne Wade's like that too. Really nice off the field, and on the field, on the court, he's going to cut your heart out. And I think Tua will be that guy too. Heat Fins. Inter Miami has been making more progress than the Marlins. Oh yeah. The Marlins got to spend, man. They don't, and it's the screwed up part about the Marlins. I don't know if you guys realize this. Some of you, I don't know, maybe because most of you don't give a rat's ass about the Marlins, but I want to make sure I give it to you exactly here. So I'm going to pull it up for you. But this is what people may not realize about the Marlins right now. Even with the issues that they have and everything else, the Marlins are 35-40. They're 5 games and they're 500. It's not like they're an absolutely horrible team. So if you actually spent a little more and got the right pieces, Avisail Garcia is a decent player, but that's not the kind of free agent that you want to really go sign and build your team around. That's a B to C level free agent that you settled for. That's what Avisail Garcia is. I mean, come on, man. So you've got to, you've got to take that next step, unfortunately, and they haven't. Either that or you're going to have to draft and develop a bunch of really young stars. And so far, we haven't seen that. Jazz is like the closest thing that they have. But you're going to have to develop several of those kind of guys if you can't spend the money. They're doing a great job with the pitching. They are loading up and have loaded up with the pitching. They have enough pitching that they can trade for bats. That's the other thing that they could possibly do. Go get yourself a young player that's an up-and-coming star that it looks like you're convinced that he's had a decent year or two already in the majors offensively, and you can see it. But go give up a couple pitchers for that. If you can't buy it, then go get the guy that you can maybe control his salary and buy him early on, like what you did with Sandy or something, man. But you got to make a move. That's the screwed up part about the Marlins. They're right there. The Inter, they screwed up so much early on that they have put Chris Henderson in a tough position to improve the team. In 2 years, Chris Henderson will have all the flexibility, and I'm sure Inter will also purchase some really good DPs because Jorge Mas is going to win. I don't care what anybody tells me. I've been around the dude, okay? He's a good man. He wants to win, all of that. Yeah, they've been a disaster early on, but that happens to a lot of new businesses, and you got to figure stuff out, and he'll figure it out, man. He's a really successful businessman. So they'll figure out their mistakes, and they'll correct them, and they'll move on. But the Marlins, I know that Inter has the owner that wants to win. I'm not the Marlins, Bruce Sherman has not shown me that he has the mad ass passion to want to win. I don't think anybody can say that. Let's see. Do Bengal fans have the nerve to compare their O-line to ours? Actually, Bengals fans have a good O-line right now. Did you watch Heat fans, what they did in the offseason? I guess you didn't watch it, but if you want me to actually remind you, you probably didn't do your homework. But they added 3. Mike Brown did something he never does. He went and actually spent money in free agency. Mike Brown has been a joke of an owner forever. And this year, somehow or another, he went out and spent money, dude. They got Leo Collins. They got Alex Kappa and Ted Karras. They already had Jonah Williams, who's their first rounder, and Carmen Jackson, who's their second rounder from last year. So they ended up signing the entire right side from the center on, all free agents. And they did draft Cordell Volson in the 4th round too. He's backing up Kappa. So Leo Collins as your right tackle, Alex Kappa as your right guard. Ted Karras is a serviceable center, not a great center, but if Jackson and Kappa are good guards, then that'll help the center out a lot. They improved their line, man. Put it this way, they actually have more guys proven than our guys. We only have 2. They have like 3 guys that are proven already. So, you got to give them their props because Jonah Williams is proven, Kappa's proven, Leo Collins proven, and Ted Karras is actually he's actually proven more as a center than our guy Connor Williams. Now, Connor Williams can be better because he's a good guard, but he hasn't really become a good center yet. Sometimes you don't be a fan and be a little bit more objective about it. Give the Bengals their credit, man. They did what they had to do around Joe Burrow. They had to load up on the line, and they loaded up on the line to protect them. They did a good job, you know? So it's one of those deals. Well, in 2021, to be specific, it's still better, right? Because Joe Mixon had 1,300 yards, 1,200 yards, right? And 11, 12 touchdowns. They had a much better running game than Miami did. So either it was all Joe Mixon and no line, but I would imagine somebody on the line did some work for Joe Mixon to play that well, and Miami didn't have anything like that in the running game. So that's one thing Burrow had that, Tua did not have. He did not have a 1,200-yard rusher scoring, 11, 12 touchdowns on the ground. So it is what it is, as they say. So Rudy Gobert gets traded to the Jazz. I mean, from the Jazz, he gets traded, and he gets traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is going to be very interesting with him and Karl Anthony Towns, although Towns is a three-point shooter. So that's the good thing about that you can have that's the problem with Bam. You can't team him up with another big guy unless that big guy can shoot, because Bam can't. Somebody's got to be the stretch. Somebody's got to be able to stand at that three-point line and be able to shoot. Bam can't do that. You got to find another guy. The good thing, Karl Anthony Towns can do that while you have Gobert on the court. Now, Lucy, you have some splaining to do. And you got to watch out, because sometimes you'll run your mouth and you'll talk about things and, you don't realize that sometimes life changes. And, Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, well, they got to cross the threshold of awkwardness. And why do we say that? Well, Anthony Edwards was once on the podium, and he said about Rudy Gobert, he says, anytime I go against Porzingis, I don't get no layups. I don't get why we couldn't finish. I don't get why we couldn't finish on Rudy Gobert. He don't put no fear in my heart. I don't know why. So the guy that doesn't put fear in his heart, which, by the way, it's kind of funny that Porzingis puts more fear in his heart than Rudy Gobert. But Anthony Edwards is not a Rudy Gobert fan. So Anthony Edwards, who's a hell of a player, by the way, and he did a good job on that that movie with I watched it the other day, Adam Sandler. Okay, and by the way, Guancho was excellent. There's a ton of NBA players in that. But Anthony Edwards did really well in that, being the instigator and all that stuff. That was actually really, really good on Juancho. But anyway, now Anthony Edwards will have the awkward moment of having Rudy Gobert, the guy that puts no fear into him, as his teammate now. Humming. The good thing for Anthony Edwards is that he is a baller. So, Rudy Gobert is going to have to deal with it. It is what it is. But that'll be just a little bit awkward between Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert when they've got to meet up. I wonder if Anthony Edwards sends him a congrats or welcome aboard, and then does then this guy send him back the tweet of Anthony Edwards saying that he puts no fear in him and all that, just to F with him or just to bust his balls. It's kind of what it is. Yeah, it was a good movie, Josh. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. It was a good movie. I thought Adam Sandler did I think he wrote it and produced it and all that stuff, right? Besides acting in it. And I thought he did a really, really good job. Nobody likes Gobert. Well, he was such a douchebag early on with the whole pandemic stuff and doing all that spreading and not taking it serious. And then he ends up with it and spread it to his teammates and stuff. So yeah, it's one of those where, yeah. What are you going to do? Anyway, folks, it's time. I think we did about a little over 2 hours today on the program. So we appreciate all of you out there, as always, for tuning in and supporting our program. Thank you out there. You guys are so kind. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Share the show with folks. Please follow and subscribe to our other channel, Big O Show Cuts. Put it on the search engine there, Big O Show Cuts. And please follow. Help us get that one to 1,000. Help us get to 13,000 here with our regular page. And we thank all of you out there, as always, for supporting us. I probably will do something on July 4th. Little short show or something, but I probably will do something on the 4th. I'm pretty sure of that. All right. Thank you all out there. We will see you on Monday. Same time, same place, same bat channel. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.